Good morning. This is West Huntsville Primitive Camp. I stayed here last time I attempted the trail and it was my favorite spot. I was able to hear the frogs croaking all night. It's right next to a frog pond. Like you can kind of see it behind my tent here. It has a platform for the tent, which is fantastic. It means you're flat and it's cleared out so you don't have a bunch of pokies under your sleeping bag. But not only that is it's big, it's spacious. It even has a bench, which is a huge plus because when you're cooking or even tearing down and setting up your stuff, it's nice to be able to empty your pack onto a flat surface that's not dirty or wet. So that's awesome. It has a fire pit, which I never really leave enough time at the end of the day to have a fire of any kind, but that's awesome. And then it has a whole area in the back there that's already planned out for using the restroom. I was smart last night. I got to camp early, so I dug a cat hole before I went to sleep because yesterday I had a little problem with that because the ground was frozen. It definitely got cold last night, but it wasn't nearly as cold as the night before. I woke up maybe 3 or 4 times instead of continuous rolling around and trying to get warm. So it was a good night at sleep. I think I'll have a better day today than I did yesterday in terms of my strength and my body being rejuvenated. I'm gonna get some electrolytes, cook some breakfast, and then hopefully get on the trail before 9 today, which gives me an extra hour. For breakfast this morning, I am making just some oatmeal that I brought and using my new MSR Pocket Rocket, which I'm very excited about, and my new Toaks titanium pot. Good morning and happy January 1st. I hope everyone had fun celebrating last night and got to see some fireworks. At my campsite, it was very loud. I heard a lot of fireworks, but I didn't really see any, which is okay. I actually slept through most of it because I was very tired. But I'm so glad I got to stay at that campground. Like I said before, it's one of my favorites. It's so relaxing. I slept amazing there last time and I slept amazing there this time. So highly recommend the West Huntsville Primitive Camp if you're walking through. As for everyone doing their first day hike today, congratulations for getting outside. It's a beautiful morning here in Texas, and I'm so happy to be out on the trail. My pack feels light today because I'm almost out of food. I have a resupply tonight where I'm staying, but that feels good. My body feels great except for my right knee. Unfortunately, I don't know what it is. I've never learned how to appropriately take care of it, but my right knee hurts pretty bad, so I'll probably stop and take some ibuprofen somewhere when I get some water. But for now, my plan is another 15 miles today. I'm hoping to get to 4 Notch campsite, and I know along the way I'm going to pass the dam. I forget what it's called, but it's really pretty, so I'll make sure to get some footage there. And there's a trash can there where hikers can drop their trash, which I'm very excited about because I'm carrying around a lot of trash. There hasn't been one drop point since I got on the trail, so I have all of my food wrappers, all of my waste, everything still in my pack. So I think that's the first stop, like big sightseeing stop today. I can't really remember what happened on this day last time. So I'll pull out my camera when something comes up. I guess I just needed a few miles and a pack of Oreos in me for my brain to work. But in this morning's video, like 30 minutes ago, I said that I wasn't really sure what was happening today besides crossing the dam. And now that I'm awake, that seems silly. So I will be passing Huntsville State Park today, which is one of my favorite hiking parks in this area of Texas. But I won't be stopping in because it's about a mile off trail and I just don't have time for that. I'll be passing the dam like I said earlier, and unfortunately there's also a lot of road walking today. That's what almost killed me on my last hike. It was so scalding hot on the road walk that I just wore myself out, and it's really hard on my shins, calves, and feet. But we have that to look forward to today. Hopefully it'll be a little easier. And then also, once I get off the road walks, I'll be entering the next section of the Lone Star Trail, which is Phelps. And in Phelps, I will be passing the highest point on the trail, which is a bit, what's the word? Not sarcastic, but it's funny. Oh, it's ironic. But you'll see that when I get there. So I have that to look forward to. There's a little logbook there that you can sign. So that's cute. But I just remembered all of those things now that I'm waking up. Whoa. Split 3, split pace, 24 minutes, 4 seconds per mile. That thing is another huge one. Oh my goodness. Also taller than me. So cool. I saw this sign last time. It says hiker water hose, but I never found the hose. There's a sign over on that thing that says hiker water, and last time I came through I didn't know where the water was, and this time I was a little confused as well. I went over there to that hose because it says hose on the front and that doesn't have a nozzle, and I finally found this. So if you're coming through, it's literally just the first house right here. What a blessing. Come out of the forest up there, get water right there. Come on down here to the dam, and right up ahead there's a spot where we can deposit trash, which is also a huge blessing. Thank you to this community. And now we cross the dam, which last time was so low I could walk over it with my shoes on and not get my feet wet. So we'll see what it looks like today. It does look like it's flowing, so we'll see. Look at this. Stunning. Okay, looks like I can cross still with just my shoes on. Let's go. Oh yeah, no problem. Perfect. Well, I can definitely tell that I've slowed down now that I have 2 liters of water in my pack. I only had 6 liters before that, so that's quite a weight difference. But I'm super happy about it. I have an electrolyte packet that I was able to pour in this one. I really wanted to drink it this morning, but it would have been a waste to just put it in 6 liters. So filling up there was such a blessing. I'm very thankful for whoever owns that home and was willing to let me use their hose to fill up my water, because that's really gonna save me today. And if I ever decide to come back when it's warmer again like I did last time, that will be a lifesaver. So on we go. Look at all those mushrooms. I can hear the highway, as I'm sure you can too. And that just means I'm passing Huntsville State Park, and I'm about to start the highway walk. I think it's like 2 miles, maybe 1.5 miles on the road, on the highway road. I go down under an overpass, and then I'll get on like a Forest Service road for another 1 mile or 2 before I get back into the forest. But I probably won't record much on the road because it is very loud. I'm still in the forest and it's very loud right now. Huntsville State Park. I came from way over there. You can see that bridge is where the Huntsville sign is, so I came a little bit farther than that. Down, around, and now I'm here. Whew, I hit a brief little moment of shade, so I'm going to take a rest. This road seems like it's been going on forever and ever. Everything hurts. I'm super sweaty. I'm getting really tired. But we still have over 1 mile to go. Just checking in. I see the sun poking over the hill. Thankfully that means I'm going to take a right, and then I'm going to take a left, and then I'll be at Phelps. And I think that means I'm about halfway there, or maybe even a little over halfway, which is fantastic because I feel like I've been on this road for an hour, moving at snail's pace. But we're getting closer. I just finished part 1 of the road walk. Now I just have some service road walks. It's a little bit of a shorter distance, but I was feeling a blister forming on my right foot, which is right here under the pad of my big toe. Thankfully my left foot is a-okay, no blisters at all, but now I'm gonna just sit and let them air out for a minute. I'm gonna switch my socks. I know that's kind of silly, but whenever my feet start to hurt and it's because of the way the sock's rubbing on it, or potentially the way the sock's rubbing on it, I switch my sock from right to left and left to right, because that sock will obviously sit a little bit differently, and usually it helps. It sounds really silly, but usually it helps. So I'm also charging my watch because yesterday it died on me and really infuriated me. I was 1 mile away from my campsite last night and it died. I looked at it, I know I was 1 mile away, and I looked at it and it didn't see how much battery life it had, but I saw that it had 1 mile, so I was like, okay, let's do this. And then I got to camp and I went to pause it to finish my hike, and it had died. So I didn't record any of my hike data from yesterday, and I know it was my longest day, which is really upsetting, but that's okay. I'm just gonna rest here for a little bit, air out my feet, maybe have a snack, definitely drink some water before I hit the next section of the trail. Thankfully, I'm in a nice shady spot right here. I'm literally on the side of the road. Look, this is like a highway, but it's far enough off the road where I feel safe. So I'm just gonna take a little break and get back on it. I made it back into the forest. That was the last little bit of road for now. There is more road walking later today, but once I reach this very secure private fence, right next to it here is the trailhead to get back into the forest and to keep going. I remember last time I was out here, I couldn't find the entrance, which is silly, but I was just exhausted, and by the time I got in here, I just kind of collapsed on the ground, had my lunch, took my shoes off. I was dying, but here we are, back on the Lone Star Trail. We've made it to Phelps. Ooh, ooh. Can I get a chow? I'm just thinking about last time I was walking through here. I had really bad blisters on my feet. I was so exhausted. I was telling myself like, this is no longer fun. I'm just doing it to survive. And this time is so different. Like, I'm having so much fun. I'm so happy. Like, I've been smiling in the forest at myself, I guess. But I do think that one spot on my foot is going to blister, but not nearly as bad as last time. And my calf is really tight right now, so I'll have to keep stretching that. But other than that, I feel amazing. I feel strong. I'm not really sore. My pack is fairly light considering I'm on the last day of food, and I just feel just blessed. I'm so happy to be out here right now. Made it to the highest point on the trail. Super excited. There's this adorable little summit register, which I filled out in May. There's this little book in here where you can write that, like, how your hike's going, your name, contact information, stuff. I did write in here back in May. Let's see. Oh my gosh, there's my piece from May, which is awesome. When I was here last time, I was so hot, I could barely turn the pages because I had so much sweat on my hands that it was just like sticking to the book, and I didn't really get the opportunity to write much. So I'm gonna take a minute, write something, and I'm super excited to be participating in this. I love every piece of that. Even though this is really funny, I think it's a big accomplishment to make it this far for those that are through hiking. And for those that are just here to visit, it's a nice way to just feel like part of the hiking community. So I will always write in a logbook if there is one available. After I left the high point, I walked out of the forest, and there's a little bit of a road walk there, and then you walk back into the forest. And as I was walking back in the forest, there was a bunch of dogs that came running, 5 to be exact, that came running from the house across the street, full blast at me. My heart was racing. There was a man outside, and he just kept yelling at them, "Come here, get back over here." But he didn't say anything to me on whether they were nice or they were gonna attack me. And then I started walking in the trail. I started walking backwards and like flinging my sticks, like, back up, back up. And finally they retreated, but my heart was racing. So if you're doing this trail, know that that is a place that has free roaming dogs, and I don't know if they're nice or not because their owner didn't say anything to me, but thankfully they did back up. They got within probably about 5 feet of me and then turned around. So whew, my heart was blazing. We're coming up on a big milestone. Mile marker 40. Woohoo! Woohoo! That was huge. Totally dry. Not even wet ground. I'm about to leave the forest and do some more highway walking, which I'm not at all excited about. Oh look, 42. Ooh. I have about 2 miles to walk on the highway before I get to camp. So I probably won't record much because it is going to get dark while I'm walking, which is okay. The campsite I'm going to is very big, so I'm not worried about having a spot when I get there. But there's nothing exciting happening after this. I may give you some stats when I get to camp, but for now, closing out. I made it to camp, got all set up, went and picked up my hiker box, and for dinner I'm making mashed potatoes with some white chicken that I'm gonna mix in, and I'm so excited.